Right. At which time was the Eastern Orthodoxy established? What year was it?
Well, Eastern Orthodoxy is a collection of different national churches.
Yeah.
Then there's Oriental Orthodoxy, which includes other churches like the Copts.
Yeah.
So they will say the churches today, they regard the Greek Orthodox Church as the prime church. Russian Orthodoxy claims a major authority, and there's tension between Greece.
They're too far away anyway, so the Greeks are nearer. So.
Nonetheless,
Yeah.
if we take the Greeks, you see, when they split from us in 1054, when we excommunicated them,
Oh, so it's a recent.
they sought to excommunicate us, but we don't believe they can have authority to excommunicate us. How can a local bishop excommunicate the chief shepherd? It's absurd. But the Pope excommunicated them. That's the event that matters. 1054. That was part of the Catholic Church. Regions of the Catholic Church pushed out of the church.
Right.
They then, now what's the status of them? Well, they're an excommunicated body, part of the body. Okay. They then start saying they are the church. Well, they're centred on Constantinople, Byzantium. And that church begins, well, they say that they began with the Apostle Andrew, or a disciple of the Apostle Andrew.
Right.
This is got no historical basis at all. Unlike Rome, a strong historical basis, because St. Peter was martyred there along with St. Paul. But with Byzantium, it was a backwater, it was nothing. When Constantine chose it to be the new Rome, he was making a brilliant strategic decision, but it was just a little village. There was no reason for St. Andrew to have been anywhere near there, or any of his own followers being near there. It was just made up because they wanted to have authority like Rome had. That means that Greek Orthodoxy, as a standalone church, cannot stand alone because it's separated from the vine, which is the body of Christ, the Catholic Church. Then, what is hilarious, the Greeks then go to Russia. The Russians say, when they choose Christianity over Islam, and they've decided they want Orthodoxy, not Rome, for political reasons, I think, they say, look, come and give us a patriarchate. Because they want to be don't want to just be under the Greeks, because the Greeks are run by the Muslims now, because Byzantium was conquered by Islam in 1453. After that, in the 1600s, the Greeks go to Moscow, somewhere like Moscow, and they create a patriarchate in Russia. This is stupid. They have no authority so to do. It'd be as if the Bishop of Birmingham could go to, I don't know, the Congo and create a patriarchate there. He has no authority to do that. He's just a local bishop. And so the bishops of Byzantium had no authority to create patriarchates. So all these patriarchates that have come into existence, they're invalid, illicit. Now, go further. The Copts, their church in Egypt was founded by St. Mark, not an apostle, but an apostolic man. Right. Therefore, they have validity in themselves, because we believe they really were started by St. Mark.
Right.
As I say, I'm totally sceptical for the historical basis for Byzantium, but not for Egypt. Good reason to believe Mark was there. But if a church separates itself from Rome, it's separating itself, in our view, from what is said in this book, that one must adhere to Peter. Peter is the leader, and the office that's created by Christ is an office of leadership. Separate yourself from that, you're separating yourself from Christ's will. Otherwise, everybody could go their own way. My church was founded by an apostle, so I'm autonomous. Oh, my church was founded by an apostle, so I'm autonomous. Jesus established one church, one head, one person has the keys, and that's being a prime minister, Isaiah 22:22. That one is Peter, and that because it's the keys that are given to him, that means he's an office holder. It's not that they die with him, because they're keys of an office. Yeah. And so when he dies, the office continues, and it's filled by somebody else. As it happens, it's Linus, then Cletus, then I think Sixtus. And on it goes.
So these names, what documentation are they kept in?
Saint Irenaeus in about the year 180 gave us a list all the way back to Peter.
Right.
I think Socrates Scholasticus later did the same thing. There's another list, and I've forgotten the name. Actually, it's not too distant from Irenaeus. But there we have, and we have nobody disputing these claims of the antiquity of the lineage of the bishops of Rome.
But I suppose the problem is that in those times, that was when the Christians were getting persecuted, so they'd have a hard time disputing anything.
No, it wasn't every day. I mean, there were times when it was peaceful, huge times before the empire converted to Catholicism, when there was peace. And because the church was building up all the time, you know, you see the trend. I mean, it's a massive growth, and the persecution, of course, wasn't happening everywhere at all times. Irenaeus was in Lyon, southern France. He was from Syria, I think. But he ended up in France. So there's we know from the writings of these early centuries, there was plenty of opportunity to think about the church, think about what it was, how it's growing, what its beliefs were in the past, and so on. There was no. It wasn't like, you know, hellfire and fury from the Roman emperors, so that nothing survived, nothing was written, everybody was running scared, hiding in the catacombs. It wasn't like that. That happened, but the church grew and wrote about itself. So we have plenty of records.